Welcome back. We're following breaking news this morning out of St. Petersburg, Florida.
This is brand new video from our sister station in Tampa. Police there say 2 people are dead and a SWAT standoff with police is now over after a couple of tense hours. We know the standoff started after detectives showed up to question a man about a missing person case, and he barricaded himself inside. Police are still working the scene.
We're following more breaking news now out of India. This is video just into our newsroom showing a deadly overpass collapse in eastern India. At least 1 person was killed, but some sources say as many as 10 are dead, with over 100 souls trapped under the debris. Rescue efforts are now underway. Now moving to Somalia, we're following more breaking news there this morning. Police say a suicide bombing in central Somalia has killed at least 9 people. 10 others are injured. Officials say a suicide bomber blew himself up among a group of people at a cafe near a hotel. Al-Shabaab is claiming responsibility for the attack, saying it was targeting officials.
We're just getting brand new video into our newsroom this morning at 6:30. A Florida deputy now faces charges after he was caught on camera punching a handcuffed man in the face. The Seminole County Sheriff's Office just released this video of the January incident. In the video, former Deputy Michael O'Connor is seen punching the 25-year-old man in the back of his cruiser. He also threatens the man's life. The deputy was responding to a domestic violence call at the time of the arrest, and he says the man in the back of the car was resisting arrest and drunk. The sheriff is disgusted by the now former deputy's actions.
I feel it's my responsibility to inform the people of Seminole County of this egregious violation. But his actions contrary to the values in our organizational culture.
Deputy O'Connor resigned last week amid an internal investigation.
Brand new off the wires this morning, federal health officials say the mosquitoes that can transmit the Zika virus may live in a broader part of the U.S. than previously thought. But that doesn't mean they'll cause disease here. The CDC now says instead of just being in the southern part of the country, the mosquitoes' range may extend into parts of the Midwest and as far north as parts of New York and Connecticut. Right now, there have been no reported cases of anyone contracting the Zika virus inside the United States. There is 1 travel-related Zika case in Collier County and 3 in Lee County.
This morning, we should learn more about a massive sinkhole that reopened near a Tarpon Springs, Florida mobile home park. The sinkhole at least 80 feet wide and about 35 feet deep. Rodney Dunnigan with our sister station in Tampa is at the neighborhood this morning.
At this point, the actual process to fix this sinkhole hasn't even started yet. Crews are pumping out thousands of gallons of water from inside of that hole. Then they will fix the pipes down below before they can actually fix the hole and start this process. Now, a number of people in this area have been told to keep their water use at a very limited amount. Now, this sinkhole was reported to be about 80 feet to 100 feet wide and possibly 60 feet deep. The smaller sinkhole was discovered here about 6 weeks ago. Mango Street here, just outside of the Tarpon Shores mobile home park, has been shut down, and a number of residents have been forced to leave their homes.
Well, I was really startled when I looked over the fence. No mistake about that.
Crews have constructed a berm to capture any overflow. The Red Cross is assisting many of those families who've been affected. At this point, it's unclear how long this process will take and how long those people will be out of house and home. Reporting from Tarpon Springs, Rodney Dunnigan, back to you.
Like a scaredy cat, but I mean, when you look at those sinkholes, I mean, they're just kind of scary.
Yeah, they just pop up, and you just have to hope that it's not there by your house. Thankfully, it's in the northern area. But Tony, I know when it comes to our weather this morning, we're keeping our eye not on the sinkholes, but maybe some possible severe weather this weekend.
Absolutely, and not looking at a whole widespread risk for severe weather, but it is something we're keeping our eyes on. Right now, it looks like the worst of the threat's going to be in North Florida for Saturday, and then we'll see the rain moving into here in Southwest Florida Saturday afternoon. More on that in just a second, but the emergent, or at least the urgent threat for folks in Marco Island is some fog out there where visibility is down under a mile. If you're leaving, you can see maybe if you're taking 41 just south side of I-75, you could be encountering more patchy on I-75, but locally dense on Marco Island. Of course, we'll continue to keep you up to date on that. The threat not elsewhere across the areas. We're seeing good visibilities in Immokalee, RSW, all the way up to Punta Gorda. Florida. Of course, we'll continue to keep our eyes on that. Those temperatures across the country, you can see the cold air is still way off to the west of us. We're still basking in the heat and humidity. That's going to play a role in our forecast for today. Quick check at those dew points. Very muggy out there. Those temperatures, and then as we look at those dew points as well in the 60s, not what we like to see. And as a result, conditions today are going to be pretty muggy out there. If you're spending time outdoors, at least for an extended period of time, you're going to feel the sun really hitting you on the face for today as those temperatures stay toasty near records as well. Talking more about that. And when we get to see some cooler weather in the forecast coming up in about 10 minutes. Warren's checking your traffic for you as you head out the door.
Now, on-time traffic brought to you by Associates and Bruce L. Shiner, attorneys for the injured.
Thanks, Tony. Just a crash that happened about 2 o'clock this morning. Crews that went by it on Pondella Road say it was mostly cleaned up, but it is still listed as an active site, so we just wanted you to be aware of that. Also, another crash in the Fort Myers area, a crash at Navarro Parkway in Del Prado. Just be wary of that. There is a lot of dense neighborhoods over there that like to get on US 41 over there, so just be conscious of that. And the clicker, if it will work. Okay, there we go. There is an issue of the on-ramp from Colonial Boulevard to I-75. Just the shoulder is being worked on, so just be careful as the day progresses. That might cause a little bit of a slowdown. And it's game day. Of course, it's the last game for spring training. Twins versus the Red Sox, so be sure and wear some sunscreen, as Tony was talking about. And that game starts at 1:05, so you can expect some delays in the early afternoon as well.
All right, and more on that game. Speaking of spring training coming to an end in Southwest Florida for the season today, our two Lee County teams go head-to-head.
Okay, you know what? It's been a big economic boom for our area. Fox 4 Rising's Mark Jackman is at CenturyLink Sports Complex in Fort Myers, where the season's last game is going to take place. Mark?
Kelly, Warren, we're here at that CenturyLink Sports Complex where the Red Sox will be taking on the Minnesota Twins in one final game of the spring training season. Now, hundreds of thousands of baseball fans travel through Southwest Florida and the rest of the state every year to witness their favorite players in action. The Red Sox will kick off their last game against the Minnesota Twins at 1:05 this afternoon. And since the Red Sox and the Twins train in Fort Myers, both teams bring big boost to Lee County's economy. A spokesperson for the Red Sox says all these out-of-state fans help our local economy and that the Sox spring training alone brings in $25 million. Tickets are still available at the Twins spring training webpage. You may want to move quickly since this is the last game, and obviously back out here live. It's still dark, not a lot of people here yet, but there are a lot of fans expected to be showing up for this last game at 1:05 this afternoon. We're live here in Fort Myers. Mark Jackman, Fox 4 Rising.
It is 6:37. Police in Wisconsin are on the hunt for a man who pepper sprayed a 15-year-old protester at a Trump rally just yesterday. The incident was caught on tape as the teenager is seen accusing a man of grabbing her and then appearing to try and strike the man. Then, from just off camera, a hand with what appears to be pepper spray or mace is thrust in the young woman's face. The 15-year-old and a 19-year-old bystander were treated at a local hospital and released. Donald Trump is backpedaling on comments he made this week that women should be punished for seeking abortions if they are ever banned.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
Trump is now saying that abortion providers, not women, should be the ones punished if Roe versus Wade is overturned. Well, the man accused of rushing the stage at a Trump rally appears in court again today. Prosecutors say Thomas Damasio rushed the stage during Donald Trump's rally in Vandalia, Ohio, earlier this month. The 22-year-old has been charged in federal court. Prosecutors accuse him of entering a restricted building without lawful authority, saying he knowingly entered a restricted area cornered off by the Secret Service. Damasio could face up to a year in prison and $100,000 in fines.
6:39 this morning, the White House is now weighing in on the battery charge against Donald Trump's campaign manager.
I am confident that neither President Obama nor President Bush would tolerate someone on their staff being accused of physically assaulting a reporter, lying about it, and then blaming the victim.
Trump's campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski, is charged with a single count of simple battery. He's accused of grabbing reporter Michelle Fields earlier this month. This is video of the incident in Jupiter. Fields went to police 3 days after the incident and filed charges. Trump has defended his campaign manager and claims the reporter had grabbed at Trump. Both Ted Cruz and John Kasich say they would have handled the same situation very differently.
Look, it shouldn't be complicated that members of a campaign staff should not be physically assaulting the press.
When you see things that are pretty clear, from what I understand, the video is clear, of course I would fire him.
Cruz also said he would have fired his staffer. A new opinion poll shows Ted Cruz with an advantage in Wisconsin among likely Republican primary voters. Officials just released the data yesterday from Marquette University. It shows 40% of likely voters support the Texas senator compared to 30% for Donald Trump and 21% for Ohio Governor John Kasich. About 8% of people were undecided. Wisconsin's primary election is Tuesday.
Okay, a pro surfer is in pretty serious condition this morning after a shark attack.
We'll let you know where the attack happened and just how bad that injury is. Plus, it's a local story making national headlines. Instead of people standing on a boardwalk looking for panthers, one panther decided to join the nature walk. We'll let you know where this rare sighting happened. You're watching Fox 4 Rising at 6:40.